to another My Damn Toys video. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with a brand new AEW action figure authentic scale ring review on the brand new Ringside exclusive AEW authentic scale ring featuring the Aubrey Edwards figure. Now, this is a Ringside exclusive, so the only way you can pick this thing up will be at Ringside Collectibles, man. WrestlingFigures.com. Use promo code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10% when ordering over there. You guys know this is our second ring that we have seen from AEW Jazzwares. And not only the second ring, but the second Ringside exclusive ring, because the first time we had this, we got it featuring the Kenny Omega figure in the green attire, if you guys remember that. It seems like yesterday that we got that figure, but here we are with a brand new one. As you guys can see, it is the Double or Nothing ring skirt. We got some images on the front here. Aubrey Edwards figure featured over there. Breaking down the packaging, as you guys can see, we got an AEW logo up here, authentic scale ring, 22 by 22 ring, flexible ropes, authentic AEW details, fabric ring skirt, rubber turnbuckles, Ringside exclusive. Got some Young Bucks and Proud and Powerful going on. At the top right here, it says over 35 pieces, 12 rubber turnbuckles, 1-to-1 scale, easy to assemble, and then there is a shot of the Aubrey Edwards figure in the packaging. You do get a few interchangeable hands there, which we're going to take a look at, but if we spin the thing around, on the back there, you guys can see it has the same information there, and then on the back, it does have, you know, more figures right there. You got some Chase Matt Hardy, you got Hangman Series 2, Series 4 Guevara, Series 4 Ortiz. On the top, it does have an AEW logo there, and then as always, in the bottom right corner, it says watch AEW Dynamite. We no longer have a Toys R Us with us to, you know, get this thing at retail. I would imagine that they probably would have been able to get this thing at retail if we had a Toys R Us still, but since we don't, man, this is kind of our only option as Ringside Collectibles, man. So go over there, use promo code MDTOYS. Well, let's crack this thing out of the packaging and find out what we got in this AEW figure ring. Alright guys, so here is everything that comes inside the packaging when you unload all of the contents out of the box of the AEW authentic scale ring, Ringside exclusive Aubrey Edwards. What we have right here, man, you do get some solid steel steps. I guess we could take a closer look at everything real quick. So you get some solid steel steps. It does come apart right here, so you guys know you just connect it back like so, and that is your ring steps. You also have your canvas right here, which I hate. I hate these canvases. They're way too thick, honestly. But inside there, you do have your Double or Nothing ring skirt, and you do have your black ring ropes, which we're going to take a closer look at. And then you do get your two black big piece of canvas, which I'm probably gonna assemble the full ring on like time lapse or something like that, so you guys can see how you put the thing together. And then you do get this big baggie full of ish over here that has all your clips, your buckles, all that different stuff right there. So what we're gonna do first, guys, is I'm gonna dive into the Aubrey Edwards figure and break it down first, and then I'm gonna time lapse build this ring, and then we'll take a closer look at the ring itself. Alright guys, so getting into the Aubrey Edwards figure, as we can see by the head sculpt, I think the head sculpt looks like Aubrey Edwards. I feel like her hair may be a tad light, you know, in my own personal opinion, just kind of nitpicking this figure right here, you know, getting on all the details. I think the likeness is there totally. I think it does look like Aubrey Edwards and everything like that. I think the, you know, everything's going good with it. Head sculpt can't look back that much just because of the ponytail, but you know, I think the likeness is there, and I think it gets the job done there. I like this torso for the referee. I will say, I think it's only, I swear, it's only because she is a female referee that her lower torso isn't as articulated as a male torso ref would be. You guys know that on AEW female figures, the bottom part of the torso is always more solid, and it does not cut into the crotch piece, so you don't get as good of an ab crunch as you would on a male's figure. And if we ever get a male's referee figure, which we probably will someday, I'm sure that the ab crunch on that figure will probably be better than that. That's just one of those prophecies I'm gonna put out there. Unless they see this video and then they change that purposefully. That's what I'm thinking there. You do have the AEW patch right there, which looks good. A lot of things that are going around, man, is that the top part of this figure are black and white stripes, and then the bottom part of the torso does have this yellowy finish to it, and a lot of people are pretty pissed off about it. So understandably, like when I get this thing mocked, this is my loose version. When I get a mock version, I'm hoping that mine is more black and white and not like this pale yellow and black. Hopefully that will be the case, but I love the way they did these shoulders over here. This is actually the shoulder piece, and then you do get a bicep swivel in here, which is really beautiful. You do have the double jointed arms right there, which is awesome. She can karate chop action you with her, you know, her pin hand right here. So that looks good. I like the pants mold you got going on. You got the black crotch, you got the black pants mold going all the way down. She does have thigh cut, even though it's hard to see. She has some nice kicks on right here that look good. The black shoes look nice. I like it. It's actually a really nice figure. Like, I'm having a lot of fun posing it around and stuff like that. The kick forward isn't the best, and the kick back is kind of non-existent because of the butt cheek flap there with the plastic molding, but she does have a really good double jointed knee. You do get the upper thigh cut. She is on ball joints, so you get the splitsies. So it's a really nice referee figure. I think it's borderline probably the best referee figure we probably ever had to this moment. You know, we do have like that new referee coming soon with like the Ringside Chaos figures or whatever those are called, but it's a really nice referee, man. I I like the Aubrey Edwards figure a lot. Outside of that, she does have her mat slam hand, so you guys can see here, she can slam the mat for the 1, 2, 3. Outside of that, she does have like a mic holding hand right here, and she does have, you know, the red and blue nail polish. She has a 1 count hand, which is pretty nice right there. And then she does have a 2 count hand, both of which have the same nail polish colors, of course. For some reason, I was thinking she came with a 3 hand, but I guess that's just the new Vince McMahon. So she does have the 1 and 2 count for, you know, showing off how many counts it was. You know, she'll say, that was 2, Brad, that was not 3, and then, you know, she has the 1 count for the 1 count. So, pretty nice figure overall. We will take a look at what it looks like in the ring momentarily, but I think you guys are going to enjoy the Aubrey Edwards figure. It feels nice. I don't have any problems with it. Like, mine has a little bit of pale yellow going on, but it's not, like, overly noticeable. I guess you could paint it if worse comes to worse. I don't think it would chip that bad. But nonetheless, guys, let's go ahead and build up this AEW Double or Nothing ring so we can put our AEW figures in it. Here's the ring when it is all built, and I will say, man, in the 4 or 5 years they have made this ring, WWE, AEW, doesn't matter. These turnbuckles, I absolutely hate them. They give you, like, they hurt your fingers putting them on. They're just a total nightmare, honestly. I can't stand them. Like, they just are terrible. Putting those little pegs through those small holes it's such a difficult task. I will say that the mat feels a lot better than I expected. It's actually thinner than I was expecting, and it's not as bad, and it actually looks really good on here. I honestly recommend just taking a shirt and then pulling it over it to give it even a more thinner feel. Like taking a thin white shirt or a thin light gray shirt, you know, cutting it up, take an old t-shirt and pull it tight, and then use like little clips to clip it underneath the ring right here, which is what I do on my other ring. But this is still really nice. I like the way it looks. I like the way that it scales. I will say that the authentic scale rings, typically from Wicked Cool Toys, who I think is the makers of this ring, I feel like it's a bit oversized in my own personal opinion. I feel like, you know, like some of the mass of the ring could be smaller. If you guys can look at it, like, she doesn't look bad in the ring. I don't think Aubrey looks bad in the ring. I just think overall it could be just shrunk maybe like 5 to 10%, which isn't that far off anyways. One thing that's good about this is you actually can stand people on the turnbuckles a little bit better than maybe my ring that I use, which is based off the Jack's Real Scale ring. But it's not bad. I like the way it looks. It reminds me a lot of the first version. I think the only reason that you may want this, unless you just do not have a ring, I would say is for the Aubrey Edwards figure. I know a lot of people want to complete their AEW collections. They want to have, you know, a mock set, a loose set, or whatever. So I understand why you may want the Aubrey figure. Maybe you can search that out, but if you want that mock, you got to buy the ring anyway. Or, you know, maybe you could buy the ring and the figure and then sell the ring once it is, you know, there in your hands. So that's something that you could play with. And if you guys wanted to see what the steel steps looks like when it is connected, you know, you come in here and just connect it like so. I think it's supposed to go up in there, but so there is the ring steps, and then you have all the ring ropes. You got the black ring ropes and everything. ring. And if you guys want to get a zoom-in shot right here, there's Aubrey in the ring with the arena in the background. I mean, it looks really clean. It does look clean, and if you wanted to use this as your actual ring for your pick fetting or stop motion, you know, I wouldn't have any problems with it. I think it does look good. If you guys want to see what some other superstars look like in the ring, we can go ahead and do that. So you got Moxley, you got your AEW champion, little CM Punk action in there, you got Cody, you got Darby, and you got some Archer action. So there's your scaling with it. I mean, I think it works out pretty good. Again, not my favorite ring to use, but at the end of the day, man, it is a feasible option, especially if you want to bring your AEW figure collection, you know, display to the next level. I know a lot of people like to just set these rings up on their desk or their display tables and stuff like that, and just have like all their different superstars and wrestlers in the ring or like in a little setup display. But the ring is big. Like, it takes up my arena pretty good. My ring that I typically use doesn't take up this much room, and I actually have a little bit more room on all sides of the ring, but it doesn't look bad. You know, you come off the stage, come down into the ring. I think it'll get the job done. I think you'll be impressed with it if you guys have never seen these before, but at the end of the day, it's very similar to the others, if not the exact same as every other authentic scale ring we've seen. But the Aubrey Edwards figure is very nice, and if you want to have a referee for your collection, that is a very nice feasible option. Maybe you can get it loose on eBay, but it's probably going to cost you a hefty penny. But anyways, guys, if you'd like to grab this ring, if you'd like to grab the Aubrey Edwards, use promo code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10%, but that pretty much wraps up our AEW Authentic Scale ring review. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the AEW Authentic Scale ring, as well as the Aubrey Edwards figure. But I'm getting out of here, man. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and do not cross the line like the yellowing on my Aubrey Edwards figure.